Some months I make really good amount of money. Some months I don't make money at all. It's a painful journey. We need to tell people it's not all rosy and stuff. It's a painful journey. I've had to lose everything, the houses, go back home and go restart from scratch.
Yo, what's up guys? It's Nqobile Tembane from Top Traders South Africa, and I'm bringing you guys another episode of Market Masters, where I sit down with the most talented and prominent traders in the industry. And you guys know we always bring the best traders here on this platform. We bring industry players here as well. You guys know this guy. He's not a stranger. He was here yesterday. You guys were seeing him yesterday. You're seeing him today again. You saw him I think a few months back.
A few months back.
Yeah, we got Jabulani Souls. He's back for an interview. We want to get to know him like properly, like get in depth right there and find out what makes him tick and what really makes the man, the myth, the legend, whatnot. How does that go? What really goes on underneath? No, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah.
It's always it's a pleasure to be here, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. You know, this is like such support, you know, and you're not here alone. You're here with your beautiful and amazing wife there. Yeah. We're going to get into that. I want to talk about that at some point in the interview. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate the support, just you coming out here as well. It means so much to me and my bro over there.
The CEO. Thank you so much for having me, man. It's really an honor to be here. Thank you so much for hosting me on this platform.
It's a pleasure. Let's get to it. You know, you're here because you're a trader. You're here because you're a participant of the financial markets. And I think a lot of people want to know, because, you know, you've been here a few times, like, but today I think we just want to, you know, peel back some of the layers and be like, you know, and find out what's really underneath everything. But before we actually get into that, you know, I know last time when we did the podcast, you mentioned where you started, but I think today I just want to get the story properly, you know, in depth, where you come from, who is Jabulani Souls, and where does Jabulani Souls come from?
Okay. Like you mentioned, obviously the last time I covered a little bit about where I come from, and Jabu Souls is basically I'm known working behind the scene at the brokerage space. So I've worked for arguably the two of the biggest brokers in South Africa. And then I'm a trader myself, apart from just only being working from the back end of the brokerage side. One of the things that those that are close to me know very well is I trade myself, and I also have a passion for teaching people how to trade. And basically, just without really going too much into detail for my trading journey, I would call myself a supply and demand trader. I trade that method. I'm a prop trader as well. I basically utilize all avenues that are available for leveraging within the financial space.
Hi guys, this is Nqobile Tembane.
This is MJ Givens Kasi from Top Traders South Africa,
and we've partnered with OctaFX. OctaFX is a reliable and transparent broker providing online trading services worldwide since 2011.
We have partnered with OctaFX, understanding the role and the importance of traders platform. We made sure to partner with the broker that understands that.
OctaFX offers no commissions, no swaps, and no hidden fees, so you can focus less on the stresses and more on your trading.
OctaFX offers quick withdrawals and deposits. Furthermore, with advanced fund security, your funds will be safe with OctaFX.
If you are looking to learn how to trade, look no further, because OctaFX offers free comprehensive education to learn. Click on the link in the description.
Trading made clear with OctaFX.
Trading made clear with OctaFX. But before you were a trader, what were you doing? Who was Jabulani Souls? That's where I want to go. That's where we're trying to go.
All right. Now, obviously, growing up, we were basically on a journey of discovering ourselves. And one of the things I knew about myself is that I never saw myself as like being in any profession but playing football. Right? I like to believe I'm the greatest soccer player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Even now.
Oh yeah. What position do you play?
I played striker.
Played striker.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I played various positions. But the one that I'm more effective on is striker. But I'm a very skillful striker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. And also, obviously, along the ways after high school and stuff, went to varsity, studied at UJ. 1 year there, and I felt like this is not for me, man. And then obviously parents wanted to take me further, like basically to just further my studies. Went and studied IT at Boston. I think on my second year, I realized that, this is not for me. And I kind of feel bad for my father because he paid the school fees, and on the second year, I didn't even attend. You know, I started going to work into retail. I've worked at retail. In fact, that's where I learned the skill and the art of selling in retail. I worked for a couple of retail companies. I was just doing promotions at the time.
I was about to ask, retail, like where were you selling in store or?
Sure, it was in-store promotions. I used to work for, I'm sure when you go into like a Metro or Incredible Connection, you'll see these guys with like Samsung shirts and all of that.
Yeah.
So I used to sell those stuff there, computers. I liked that very much. And then later transferred to IT distribution. Worked for the biggest company in South Africa, Mustec. It was a distribution company. So it distributed all IT product, TVs, everything, you name it. I worked there. I worked at Rectron as well, same thing. And that's actually where I started trading while I was at work.
Okay.
Yeah, I got introduced to the financial markets early 2016. Me and my beautiful wife.
Yeah.
We did everything together since then, you know.
That's beautiful.
So we went and attended a seminar in Sandton. That's a very top dog seminar.
Who's seminar?
That was GFI.
GFI. Oh, okay. I see.
That's GFI. I think we attended 2, if I'm not mistaken. But one of the things I picked up there is how it was a brilliant seminar. But I picked up in both seminars, they were like identical, right? But that's what really got me over the line with trading, right? Because we looked at guys like your cash flow, Nqobile. Those are the guys that were basically doing it before then, but we didn't really understand what this means. We didn't even know the platforms, right? And when we got to GFI, they made it look easy. Like they made it basically look like it's simple to access the financial markets. And that's when one decided to say, okay, let me go in. But I didn't take the course.
Okay.
I thank God. I didn't take the course. I attended the free seminar, but it revealed so much. And then it started spiking, like basically it sparked the interest. That sparked the interest. And then when I went back to work, started trading demo accounts at work, and then I decided to quit based on the profits made on the demo.
Okay, so right now you say you started trading while you're at work.
Sure.
So what was the learning process there for you? Because right now you're working. I mean, what are the hours that you're working at this point?
Yeah, it was a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It was a corporate gig.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a corporate gig, 9 to 5. So I started placing a couple of trades there. Obviously, I just only knew. I think the only broker at that time I knew of was FXCM. Nothing else. And they were not even using Meta platform. So I was using their trading platform. So I only saw buy and sell, and then understood from the internet. I just understood a currency meter. Right, I knew when it's red you sell, when it's green it's blue you buy, you know. So I just basically took all my trading decisions based on that.
Sure.
Nothing else. It was just I look at the currency meter. If it's red, I'll sell. And if it's in negatives, like what everybody does is let's wait for it to come into positives and hope. So we always hoped that the trades will come into positives. So that's basically it. And then and then I decided before quitting, actually, I took one course. I met a guy that really, I think he's the biggest industry name, right? But he had a very big impact in my life, I must say. He had a very big impact in my life. I met this guy. He was still teaching people how to trade, right? He taught people how to trade. And while I was in his class, we paid him the money that he wanted. I went there with a friend.
How much?
That's 12,000 rand.
12. Oof.
Yeah. Hence why I was saying that guys that are learning now, they're lucky even now. You get 1,500, 600 weekend special, what. They are lucky. We paid, the first guy I paid was 12,000 rand.
Sure.
While in class, I think was a 3-day mentorship. So while in class, I was like, nah man, I can actually sell this guy's. I wasn't even focusing now on trading. I'm thinking
you're looking
now.
at the money there. You're like, I see where the money is now.
There's all of us here paid 12,000. I start calculating. Yo. Let me approach this guy. I think it was on the 3rd day. I was there with a friend of mine at that time, a very close friend of mine. We both paid 12 each.
Sure.
Right. And when we were in class, we then approached this guy. I said, look, we can open up branches for your trading school. Right. And he liked it.
Yeah.
He liked it. We started opening up branches, basically then that's when we were introduced to things like being an IB and introducing broker and all of that. So at that time, I was only learning what an IB is through him.
Okay.
I only discovered later that, there's so much money he made because I never had any relationship with a broker.
Oh.
So he had the relationship with the broker, but he would teach us this thing, but he only taught us what we needed to know because at the end of the day, it's business.
Yeah.
So we had a very good relationship with this individual. He went on and started his brokerage. I remember when we first got there, we were doing sales, and I think there was just the 3 of us, if I'm not mistaken. 3 of us there at that time, and we're making calls. Basically, there was no furniture at that broker.
Yeah.
It was the biggest broker in South Africa.
Yeah.
Had no furniture the first week or so, while everything was still being set up. So we used to make calls with a chair. We'll put the telephone on the chair and the laptop on the chair, and we make calls. And it had its first seminar, and then that broker became the biggest. Yeah. And that's basically how I started getting into the brokerage side as well.
Yeah. But like, how is your journey, your own personal journey at this point of trading right now? What's going on with that? Because right now you're being exposed to the business side, but what's going on the personal side?
Look, I would say there was a bit of both. With I was still learning, but there's a lot of luck.
Okay.
That was there because some of the trades that were going right, or rather some of the trades that we made money on, we couldn't really replicate the method again. Right. So like I said, we'd use different different tools and stuff that I'm learning along the journey. I never really had a methodology that I kept. I never really had a trading plan that I followed. Right. I just use every bit and pieces of whether indicator, resource from like investing.com, using that as like currency correlations and stuff, just understanding all of those things. I'll just put everything together and take trades. But now that I'm where I am, I understand that there was a series of luck that played a role. But I made decent amount of money, I must be honest. We found ourselves making a lot of money. And then it became more interesting with the back end side of things, of how a trader can also make money by introducing other traders, and every time they trade, I got fascinated with that. I got fascinated with that, and at some point with this particular broker, I was now also an educator. But mind you, it's just we had like a PDF that was basically introduction to Forex. Introduction to Forex. We traveled. I even went to like Durban to go host that class. But it was introduction to Forex and basically utilizing some of the tools that you find on investing.com. My FX book, basically to look at currency correlation and all of that. But like I would say, like I'm saying now, is at that time it wasn't really a methodology that one can use to trade.
Sure. Okay, so you decide to leave your job, and then because of a demo account.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I just want to know what happens right there. Because, somebody actually was crying, or somebody commented, but it sounded like they were crying, though.
Yeah.
Where they say it's like, you guys need to we need to talk about the struggle a bit more. Because, and as much as, we are sitting here with guys who are perceived and are successful in the game as well. But the important part is that, like, guys, the struggle, because everyone now is a lot of people are within the struggle. I mean, and we throw numbers like 90% of people are failing in Forex so easily, as if though it's nothing. It's nothing, so normal, but that 90% is a huge. It's a huge part of our community. Sure. That's a larger part of our community.
Absolutely. You're right.
That's struggling right now. So I want to go back to that part where you left your job. Now I want to talk about those struggles right there. Sure. Because people want to know. They want to know the realness. Like, hey, if you're gonna quit your job based on a demo, don't do that. Yeah. Please, I don't know. I'm gonna tell people don't do that.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
Would you recommend it to the next person?
No way. I think one of the things is that people also need to understand that what you've asked, like you said, people will say, don't bring people that will encourage. It's not by any means we are not encouraging people to do what we've been to. We're just telling our stories. And the main thing about it is that that's not what makes you successful. Trust me, if I had to go back in time, I wouldn't do what I did. I really wouldn't. Yeah. And I'll tell you why, right? Because now one of the things that I've realized, and it's a big problem with what is happening even currently, is that we tend to think that, okay, because I hate my job, I hate what I'm doing, I hate all the responsibilities that I have at my job, and it's paying me less, chances are. And we start to think that Forex is a get-rich-quick scheme, or rather it's an escape, right? Or trading the markets can be an escape for one to basically just quit everything that they hate, right? It's not the case at all. I always say this to people. I said, before you quit your job, now, this is not advice, but this is something that I always tell very close friends of mine that want to quit their job, is that even people that I've taught, I always say, before you quit your job, try to make your annual, like 2 times your annual salary, right? If you're failing at least 1 year salary, right? Whatever you make annually, try to make that while you're still at the job, trading, right? Okay. Withdraw that, get that secured. And basically, as you are trading, now that you are quitting, you're basically leveraging, you've got all this time. You can still get you'll free your time, but still have the same amount of money you were making while you're employed. But now you have more time to focus on the skill. Because one thing about trading, and it's so funny, bro, is that when you trade to make a living, it becomes so difficult, right? If you trade to make an income month end, it becomes so difficult. This is why we tend to see people start doing account management, start selling signals, selling all these other things to supplement that, right? And I always say this to people, is that trading is not, we must understand what trading is, right? It's an investment tool, right? It's not an income generator tool. A lot of the times people confuse that. They wanted to generate income on a monthly basis. That's why when somebody asks me, how much do you make per month? I always tell them it's not linear. It's not a linear industry where you'd say I make X amount a month. Some months I make really good amount of money. Some months I don't make money at all. It's just negatives, right? I think I was saying this to a friend of mine in the past 2 months or 3 months or so. And I was saying, look, this is a horrible time for me with my methodology because I was not making any money, right? There was no, at the end of the month, I think it was September, when was it? Just July and September, from July actually. July, August and September. September towards the end of it became better. But before that, it was like July, August was the toughest months I've had this year. But one thing that I know, because of understanding my methodology, is that even my negatives is like -5%, negative. You understand what I'm saying? So overall, I've got a brilliant year. I'm doing well year on year. But those 2 months was hectic. But now imagine if you had to I had to pay bills based on what I was making those 2 months. I don't think my electricity bill would say, okay, we understand the market is not good. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your bills don't care about the conditions of the market. So a lot of the times people go into this thing like that. They want to quit their job and think, if I made 11,000 this month, I'll make 20,000 next month. I'll make 20,000 every month. It's no trader alive that I know that makes a consistent amount every single month. Yes. Am I saying, is there no trader that's being positive at every month? No, I'm not saying that. Some traders do. But chances are, if you're a beginner and you want to quit your job and you're still learning how to trade, most chances are you won't even see 3 months. And these are stats. I'm telling you this. I've worked at brokers. I own a broker now. I own a prop firm. And these are stats that I know. It's the life cycle of a trader. It's 3 months. Nowadays, with what we are seeing, I would say it's 3 days, 3 weeks. Because of obviously all these bad habits of trading style that's out there. But on average, 3 months is really tough to see somebody pursuing this thing and continuing with it, because it's painful. It's a painful journey. We need to tell people it's not all rosy and stuff. It's a painful journey. I've had to lose everything, houses, go back home and go restart from scratch. I've lost the cars as well.
Yeah.
You know, everything. When I say everything, I mean like going back to your parents' house, from owning your own house, right? Having a bond of your own and going back to your father's house and staying with your father and rebuilding again, you know? And this I see it a lot in youngsters, that they put so much pressure on themselves. They put so much pressure on themselves. You get a good day trading and all of a sudden you want to go buy the next, I don't want to say info. I always say info every time I'm here. But you want to go buy a car. You understand? You want to start living lavish and all of that without understanding that you have to build this wealth. So yeah, I would say to people, if you don't trade Forex in order to quit your job, don't do that. It can make you quit your job, but don't let that not be the intention. Go there to grow capital. There's a capital markets where you get to grow capital. And there's so much opportunities these days with the use of leverage, the use of prop firms, there's all of these things are working in our favor. Right? They're working in our favor. It's just obviously there's those bad habits that we pick up here and there that end up make us do all these bad mistakes and go the downside.
Yeah. So okay, so you quit your job. What happens next? What's your next step from there? Because you're only trading demo at this point.
Yeah. No.
So was it a matter of, I'm gonna go take my money? Because obviously when you quit your job, you get to.
It wasn't even much. It wasn't even much. I quit my job then, and now I'm starting to make some money with commissions. Remember, I said I started when I went to the class. I saw the opportunity of becoming a reseller.
Okay.
Right. I started reselling this guy's course. Yeah. This guy, we charging 12,000. We've got a split there. I'm starting to make money there, pumping some into the trading markets. And I don't understand anything about volumes, what it means, and all of that, like different lot sizes and stuff. Right. I start trading big lot sizes. Shoo. Yes, bro. Excuse me. So I start trading big lot sizes. Obviously, I make a little bit of money that is much more than what I used to earn, right? And me and my friend at the time, we said, nah, actually, if we trade for people, we can make so much more.
Sure.
Right? That kept us going for a year or so.
For real?
Yeah.
So that actually worked out for you.
Yeah, it did. We started trading for people.
Okay.
We started trading. We started doing account splits and stuff. And we started... we started selling courses of our own. You understand? So we started selling courses of our own. Yes, we are not really out there in marketing, but because a lot of the times when people approached us, we never really marketed it. So people would come and say, hey, can you teach me how to trade? Mind you, at that time, I'm still learning. Right? I'm still learning at that time. And I'm teaching people as well. And I'm not encouraging this, in fact, because sometimes this can be one's delay, right? Because now the money that you make through teaching people, the money that you make through account management and all of that, can really stop you, or rather block you in understanding yourself as a trader.
That's
right?
true.
It really does, because it kind of puts like a, how can I put it? It kind of it becomes a distraction, right? If I made 10,000 Rand in sales today, even if I lost the trade in the market, I don't really see the importance of it. And sometimes you end up saying, I don't need to trade today. Let me just focus on sales, where your business now becomes selling the course.
Sure.
But you haven't even taken that time to go and master that craft that you are selling. You understand? And it's that's what I'm saying. Am I saying people shouldn't teach people? No way. How you learn is actually by teaching. I believe how you become better at something is you teaching the others. Because remember, if I'm teaching you something now, I'm going to repeat this so many times. Repetition is the master of all, I would say, improvement. Right? If I'm going to teach you how to trade today, probably the things that I'm saying to you, I've said it to 100 others people before you, and you are hearing it for the first time. So I'm benefiting, right? I do encourage people to teach others so that they can learn, but I do not encourage people to really look at or rather put the business side of it up front, right? Selling courses and all of that. That I don't really encourage. If they can do it for free, sure.
So in actual fact, you actually left your job to go, and you didn't actually leave it to go trade, actually.
Nah, I was learning. I left it to go and learn how to trade. And in my journey of learning how to trade, made money here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, last time you spoke about how obviously there had to be the support. You're not alone at this point in life.
Yeah, no.
There had to be the support of your wife at this point. What were the conversations that were happening at that point?
About promising her haven't enough. Baby, we're going to do this. At that time, I was not married. We're going to have a wedding this big. You see? Because, I mean, the one thing is this, I see this a lot of the times, is that even as entrepreneurs and stuff, every time we look at opportunities that lie ahead of us, we're always looking at the possibilities, and we never look at the repercussions of it, or rather what the risks that comes with those possibilities, right? We always look at what's possible out there, you know. So at that time, I was telling my wife, hey, you're gonna quit your job very soon, and she actually did.
Oh yeah, that was my next question. Did she?
No, she actually did. She did that to also support me, because some of the money is also, we put it back into the trading markets, you know. So every time I had a new course, because every time you fail or you blow an account, you think there's something wrong with this course. You jump onto the next one. So every time I blow a course, I fail. And I come and show up, baby, you know, there's this guy who teaches this, who teaches that. She would actually say, okay, cool, let's do it, but you go. Like, she always put me up there to say, you go learn. Instead of, and do I think she's smarter than me? Hell yeah. I think if she went, we'd be at a better place, man. You know, she was going to be faster to understand. So, but she always put me, first she always said, okay, go. You take this money, you go, you know, you go learn. Let's do it. We go, we learn, comes a couple of weeks, profit, you see. She tells me every time, withdraw. Like, nah, babe, okay, I'll withdraw. Just so that she can keep quiet. She says, withdraw, Baba. I said, And now I see the accounts are now doubling. She says, withdraw. And said, nah, what do we want to do? We want to triple accounts. We want to make so much more until I blow. And when I blow, I don't tell her. I think 3 days she'll ask, that account, where is it? You know, so she's always been supportive in that. The fact that she also quit her job to be part of this, because she believed in this dream. You know, she believed in what we saw as an opportunity, and it really became a. I would say now I'm at a better space to say it was a nice journey, but while I was in there, it wasn't so nice.
Yeah, what was your lowest moments at that point?
Lowest moment.
Yeah.
The lowest moment for me, man, is moving back. Look, now I've got a son at that time. I've got it was fiance at that time, and I have to move back home. We bought the house together, right? We've got this bond together at a very young age. We're very fortunate. We are obviously working towards acquiring all these things that a normal family would want, a partnership would want together. And it started off by having to sell furniture items one by one. So that for me, that's when it was because at first it wasn't really selling them. At first I started off, what's that cash cash converters or cash whatnot?
I see it.
Yeah, it started there because you go there once, and I think if we really look at the cycle of that thing, bro, it's like the cycle of gambling, right? We went there once, took one item, okay, it gave us money to patch up for whatever bills that needed to be paid at the time. Go bring it back. It comes back. Now it becomes a habit.
Okay.
Right. It becomes a habit. Now you take this cup to cash converters. Right. They give you cash.
And now,
you go use the cash.
Giving people ideas there.
Right.
But but it's fine.
It's really not that thing. But it becomes a habit. And it's really tough. And the reason why I'm sharing this is that I want to show people that you can actually build a deeper hole for yourself by doing these things, and all of them because of greed. To be honest with you, it was just greed based. We want to become millionaires or multimillionaires trading overnight. You see, so you take your item, you come back, and next thing, eventually you get to a point where you can't get it back. Then they obviously, I don't know what do they call it, but abomashonis are called it by a but eventually they take it and stuff. So the lowest point was having to sell furniture items, and up until we had to let go of the house before it got repossessed. We had to sell it. We had no choice but to sell it.
Sure.
Yeah, and we didn't make profit from that.
No, obviously. Yeah, but okay, that's the lowest point. But now let's get to the good parts. I think what a lot of people really don't get is a lot of character now starts to get built.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that the rebuilding part? Because you left your job for Forex right now for trading. Now the trading thing is not particularly working out.
Sure.
And now you decided that, hey, look, you're not going to give up on this. Why?
Yeah. Why? Because I felt I didn't really. One thing that I really thank God for is that I didn't blame anybody for it. You see, even the mentors that we paid. I mean, the 12,000 rand was just one. There's another guy that we paid 15K for him to just walk into the room and say, buy Nasdaq. And he had a big base. Oh, boy, Nasdaq.
Yeah.
And DAX, German 30 at the time. While Nasdaq was trading at 4,000 and so, all right? And he would just come in and say, buy Nasdaq. We go in big lots, buy Nasdaq. We don't understand why. And we paid him 15,000 rand for this.
Sure.
You see, so I didn't blame anybody about it. I didn't blame the mentors and say, it's because of this guy I failed. Some of them managed our accounts. We went to get people's money and we said, we'll manage it for you. And we pass it on to the other guy. And they blow those monies. Now we're in debt with these people.
Yeah.
And they're not in debt with us because they didn't guarantee anything, right? So, but still then, we didn't, I didn't blame anybody for that, although the money wasn't lost by myself, but the main thing that kept me going is because I didn't blame anybody. I took responsibility of it, and I told myself that, look, I have made money before. I have seen myself make ridiculous amounts of money before. If I've done it once, I can do it again. And I just decided to start learning. And one of the things, bro, this one, bro, there's a guy. He's not. I think I need to give that man a call. He's not so popular nowadays on social media. He was never really that popular. But this individual now, it's so funny how our paths crossed now. So when I was still at that institution teaching people, I went to Durban, right, to go teach this guy how to trade, to go teach a group of people how to trade. I was there. I had a 2-day class. It was a weekend class. And this guy was in that class. And then along the journey, he gets exposed to the Malaysian guys. They learn supply and demand, right? And if you really know supply and demand, guys, Malaysian guys, right? He gets exposed to this method, right? Now, remember, I taught this guy how to trade. Not necessarily that I introduced him how to trade, but he was once a student in my class, right? And during this down valley, I just decided to say, you know what? Because I started seeing his results on social media. He wasn't posting like money and all of that, but he'll post like his entries, his setups and stuff for a very long time. But obviously there's a little bit of that ego of saying, how do I go back to this guy and say, bro, teach me? Because at some point I was viewed as the mentor, the guru, you understand? Right? And I remember he was charging 3,500 Rand. And I was telling my wife that time, I said, this one, I want to pay. I don't even want him to teach me as a favor. And it was even hard at that time to raise the 3,500.
Because like now...
now it's all down there, you know? So I was like, okay, cool. Let's organize this money. We organized it. I paid him. And he had a...
Sorry, and you were with this at this point.
I was
even after everything.
Yeah, she was there. She was there. She was even saying, and now this course with this guy, because I tell her, until today, everything we do is, okay, there's this guy. So she'll know everything. She'll know. She probably knows our discussions.
I understand. Yeah.
So I just said, and I thank God that I never had pride. I still don't have pride. You know, I can learn. I'm always willing to learn from people. Yes, I understand how to trade. I know how to trade. I make money trading right now with prop firms, my own accounts and stuff. But I'm still, trust you me, I'm still looking to better the craft. So I swallowed my pride, and I had no pride to say there was nothing to swallow. It was if there was very small that I swallowed. So it didn't even choke me. So then I went to this guy. His name is Ndodomzi. Ndodomzi Nduna. I think I need to mention his name. He's very humble somebody. Very, very, very humble. He then started teaching me this method. I knew the method, but I just didn't understand it.
Sure.
And he taught me this method in such a way that I understood it when he taught it.
Yeah.
And the resources or the material he was using is the material I already had access to. Right? So many of us right now are sitting with Forex material on our laptops.
Yeah, so true.
So many of us. There's so many courses that we have. We've gathered all these courses. We've got a whole library of courses, encyclopedia of courses, but we've never really taken 3 months to really learn the course and execute what we've learned. You see, so it doesn't really happen. Why is that the case? Is that every time we learn something, we go and execute this on a real life market. Now, the real life market there's always other factors like emotional factors that play into that come into play, and unfortunately, the courses is just a strategy on when you see a candlestick and this. It doesn't teach you anything about psychology, how to handle a running trade and all of that, you know. So that's what makes us really not really get to that finish line. So when I took this course with this guy, mind you, this course it wasn't the Holy Grail.
Okay.
It's a course that I always had, but when he explained it, I started understanding it, right? And at some point, I felt like, man, there's still more. But I decided, okay, cool. Let me continue with what he has taught me. And I tell you the funny story, bro. I said he learned from the Malaysian guys. Now, these Malaysian guys stopped teaching in English. They only taught in that Malay language, right? Till today, I watch a Malaysian guy basically doing market analysis in the Malay language, but I understand exactly what he's saying.
Sure.
I even know what Chikubawa means now. You understand? It's because of what? Repetition.
Okay.
So after this course, I started now binging courses. People binge series. Don't do that, bro. Binge courses. Chow the course, bro.
Yeah.
Do it again, over and over again, over and over again. You'll see the results will come. The results will come. Anything you repeat, you basically, I wouldn't say you master, but you improve. You understand? So I started watching these Malaysian guys on YouTube, speaking in Malay, bro. Till today, I still do it. It's speaking in Malay, but now, because I understood the basic and the fundamentals of the methodology, so I understood what it basically means, what they say, and that's what improved my trading. Just going through over and over again. Yeah.
You mentioned methodology, and you've mentioned it quite a lot, and sticking to it. I actually want to talk about the arts of sticking to one method, because everyone's chasing the holy grail. At the end of the day, that's what everyone's chasing. Everyone's trying to get to that one particular strategy that's going to make them win.
Sure.
Yeah, but you keep speaking about the methodology. Now I just want to find out, when did you get to a point of saying to yourself that, no, actually, I'm going to camp here? Yeah. And why did you decide that, hey, I'm camping here? Whereas where you could have been like, hey, okay, no, there's this method. Now there's a new method that everyone's talking about, the vampire strategy now.
Yeah. One of the things that I realized, right, is this individual, Ntodomzi, that guy said, mind you, bro, he's never posted how much he's made on a trade. Never.
Okay.
Never. Even if you was on Facebook, you'll never see how much the P&L. But when you look at the setups, the before and afters, because I understood what lot sizing and pips meant, I already understood that. And I understood if I can catch moves like this, if I'm able to catch big moves like this, I knew already how to convert it into monetary, right? But the main thing that made me able to stick to a method is shifting away from the money.
Okay.
Yeah. So because once you put your attention on what the money can get you, you neglect what you need to do. Right? If your goal right now is to make 100,000 and you are taught steps on how to make 100,000, but along the journey, maybe when you're at 20 or 15,000, you start to feel, man, it's taking too long. If somebody comes with a shortcut, it's very quick and it's very easy for you to say, okay, let me get to that, to the shortcut that will get me to 100,000, and you neglect the actual method, or rather the actual steps that you were taught in the beginning. So a lot of the times people are chasing strategy. Yeah, you've got a strategy and there's a method, right? A strategy, I always say, is like your ingredients. Right? It's your ingredients. All of us can cook whatever dish we want to cook. We've got the same ingredients, but the outcome is always different. It's because of how we prepare and the method we use. That will determine the greatness of the dish. I mean, a chef can do chicken wings, and my chicken wings, they're not the same. True. You understand? But we've got the same ingredients. We've got paprika, spice. I've never used paprika, by the way. You understand what I'm saying? You've got all these ingredients, but the taste at the end, or the dish, will differ. So a lot of the times people focus on the ingredients but not on the method. And the key is really in the method. The results will come, bro. The money will always come. You
speak about you're saying the ingredients are not where we should focus on, but on the ingredients, like you say, in this case, the ingredients obviously could be your chart, your instruments, or what. Do they not matter?
Okay, sorry to cut you there. They really matter, right? So in trading, what ingredients can be, right, is, say for instance, you know very well that you don't use indicators. You know very well that you use price action, right? Whatever. And I always say this to people: every strategy works. Every strategy works. Just find a strategy that suits your personality. Simple. So you don't use indicators. You know very well that your strategy doesn't require indicators, right? So your ingredients will be what? Looking at zones, looking at your key levels, whatever the case may be, looking at order blocks if you're using a smart money these days. But now when you try, now application of it comes, smart money says, wait for a break of structure and retest of order block. But you all of a sudden saying, I have a feeling it won't go to the order block, it will just go down. What feeling do you have?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So now you're not applying, you've got the ingredients, but you're not applying the method. You understand? So you know very well that you need to sell at a bearish order block. But all of a sudden, you find yourself selling before the order block. And when the trade gets to the order block, you're saying, it was a fake out, now it's buying. But your strategy, which is the ingredient, says at the bearish order block, sell. But now, because of what you are feeling, right? I have a feeling, I know NASDAQ. These days it doesn't behave. Oh, but no. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the things that we go through as traders. We have strategies, we have methods, but we never really follow them to the key. So I always say to people, write these things down. Nowadays, I don't write it. I don't have it written. Right? Because I've done it so many times. I don't have it. Still wrong. I need to write it. Write them down and then tick the boxes. Right? Say, okay, what is my checklist? What do I need to do before I enter a trade? Do I need to enter the bearish order block? What is an order block? Define what that order block is to you. Right? Learn that. And then when Jabu comes and says, no, come use crossing moving averages, you can simply say, nah, it doesn't fit in my recipe. You understand? It doesn't fit in my recipe. You're trying to cook you're trying to cook stump, but somebody says, here's a cup of rice. You can't mix that. You understand? So be able to separate the two. I know somebody that trades with indicators and successful. I've traded with them for a week. But when I was alone, I sucked and I failed. And I was like, nah, this doesn't work for me. You understand? I'm not saying, that's why I'm saying every method works.
Yeah.
There's no method that's the holy grail. It's just you understanding the method you are using and sticking to it. Yeah.
Let's talk about the personality. You know, we always say, hey, find the strategy that matches your personality, things like that. But what does that actually mean? You know, when we actually break it down, what are we actually talking about? Because we come into the to money right now. So, you know, what does that actually mean?
Exactly that. It exactly means that you need to remove the money element.
Okay.
All right. Because once you've got understand money, I always say money is a spirit, right? And money evokes emotions. If I borrow you any amount of money today, right, and you say you'll pay me tomorrow, and tomorrow comes, you don't pay, and you pay that following day, automatically there'll be I would say, nah, my nigga's cool, but there is an element of trust that's broken. There's an emotion around it. So I always say this to people, remove the money element, right? Remove the money element. Some methods requires you to be patient. The main reason why people aren't patient in trading the market is the fact that they want to go and acquire the latest ride. Because I saw Nqobile buying a Lamborghini, right? It all starts like that. Because him and I are the same age. So I saw him purchase this particular vehicle. I don't know how he got it, but all of a sudden I say, okay, now I also need to go buy this so I can match my friend. You see, so that has a negative impact in your trading in the long run. There's something that you call inspiration. You can use it for a level of inspiration, but that can also have a negative impact if you're really chasing that. So understand yourself, number one, as a person. Understand the method you're using, right? Understand which time frames it works best on, and understand the entire market cycle. Understand what a time frame means. Understand if I'm seeing this on monthly time frame, what does that mean on a weekly? What does it mean on a daily? Understand how to read the time frames, and that will always determine the results you get. Yeah, so it's really about trading is one space, bro. And I'm telling you this now, every trader that is successful, even if you are not successful, you only get to learn yourself through trading. I think even for females, if you wanna go date a trader, I say, tell me about yourself. Those guys will tell you about themselves. Because it has that ability to show you who you really are.
Yeah.
You understand? It shows you who you really are, and you have to have this thing that, look, this is who I am, this is who I would like to be, and this is who I am. Now you have to get that to match. You see? So a lot of the times we are not patient, but trading, I don't want to say Forex per se, but trading in general, man, you have to be patient, bro.
Yeah.
Patience is the key.
Okay, so looking at your life right now, do you think? Okay, this is an assumption.
Sure,
but it's also a question. But now I'm putting it towards your life right now. Is that is the accessibility to funds the reason why people are profitable, or can somebody who doesn't have access to funds become a profitable trader?
Yeah. Let me let that sink in again. That's a very powerful question. So, can you repeat the question again, bro?
No, is the accessibility of funds, the reason why not some people, but why profitable traders are profitable? Or is how do I put it? Play it back. Yeah. As like having access to money, is that the reason why people, but also not having access to money, is that why people are struggling? Or do you think if people just had access to money, everyone would be profitable?
I say no.
Okay.
Yeah, I say no. Why do I say that? I always speak about my journey, and then I'll also share about what we do at Mzansi Funded, right? We run a prop firm, and we see that capital is not the actual problem.
Sure.
Yeah, we always think that capital is the problem. This is why we end up, remember earlier I said we used to trade people's money. This is why we end up doing those mistakes of managing funds. It's not allowed, guys. Do not do that, and it has a negative impact in your trading. You see, especially if you're still starting out. If you're not starting out, get yourself licensed so you can manage funds. All right. But capital is not the reason why people are successful. Capital is not the reason why, or rather, capital is not what you need in order for you to be successful. Yeah, because if you cannot manage 100 rand, how will you manage 1,000? All right, how will you manage 1,000? You can tell every time we talk, especially about trading, we're always talking about percentages, right? If I say 3% per 1% your stop loss and whatnot, regardless of the amount that you have, you need to stick to that. You see, so these are what we call stats. They statistics play out in a long run, right? So now if you don't really understand how to manage the capital, whichever amount it is, if you don't have the calculations behind it, if you don't have that, if you're still trading without any calculations, it's going to be tough for you to be sustainable in this industry. Yeah, sustainability is going to be hard. Do I think somebody should go for capital when they haven't really understood their method or strategy? I don't promote that. Right? I don't promote that. I really think once you've discovered your method and you understand your method, then go to prop firms. Make use of prop firms and stuff. Yeah, and also trade your own money as well. Understand the difference between the two.
Yeah, market capital is not the problem.
Yeah, or the solution.
Or the solution. Yeah. Some people that is hitting them here now because but I think that's what everyone is crying about. It's like, we don't have money to trade. We don't have money to trade.
Yeah, it's not. You don't even need a lot of money to start trading. Yeah, you've got leverage, right? And I think every time people need to understand what that means, right? What brokers are not so bad, guys. And I'm not saying this because I run a broker, and I'm not saying this because we want. Brokers are not so bad, bro. Brokers are not bad, and brokers are basically helping us because without brokers, where were we going to access the $7 trillion market? How were we going to access it with our 1,000 rand?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, that will just not even cover the cost for us to be trading. So we need to understand what how the internet has really shaped our lives. Every time people always say, we on a daily basis, we call people and say, hey, here's an opportunity. You've traded before, you've struggled. Is your issue money? Yes, my issue is money. Okay, here's an opportunity to trade. You guys are a scam. You understand what I'm saying? Like, no, it's no saying, do we have scams? I'm not saying there isn't scams. No, I'm not saying that. But not everything is a scam. Not everything is after you. You understand? So if we all shift our mindset to looking at the possibilities that are there and what the internet has done for us. I mean, right now, we are talking to so many people because of the use of internet.
100%.
Understand? And when internet started, people said this would not last. It's a thing. It's a demons live here. You understand what I'm saying? So up until we understand that the internet is increasing its capacity to enrich our lives every single day, we're gonna struggle, man. But capital is not your solution.
Sure. Nah, that's hectic. Anyway, let's get back to the story. It's still story time. So now you're working at a broker. Life is, I don't know, how's life right now? Is it going up now? Because that broker is growing at this point.
Sure.
Yeah. So what's happening in life right now?
All right. So I work at this broker, the very first broker I worked at, and I start trading again. Right. I start trading again. I start seeing, okay, now I don't depend on trading money. And here's the thing, guys, is I don't know how it happens. If you trade, like I said, if you trade and you need to live on that account, it becomes so difficult. But the moment you've got an income stream, your trading becomes much better. Right? The trading becomes much better. I work there. I start trading. And obviously, with my work function, my trading is not really as much as I'd like to be. And then I moved to another country, Swaziland, to go and this broker started a branch there. Right? So I relocated there 6 months without my family, and they joined me 6 months later. Right? We relocate to Swaziland. We start doing the same thing, basically just not necessarily selling courses, but teaching people how to trade in that country, making the broker money. And I was still trading at that time. That's when I started picking up again, starting to trade a little bit more now, right? And in that journey, I was now more than trading to say, I was actually learning a lot, right? I was learning, putting more time into understanding my method, trading plans, the books that I have that I look at them this day that I wrote while I was still learning is so much information that I use till today, right? So I started really writing down things down on how do I enter a trade and all of that. And then just before COVID, come back to SA, now the life was starting to pick up a little bit, right? Come back to SA, COVID hits, boom. Hey, now there's no income. You have to trade again. So it becomes tough, but God's grace, there was a broker that opened up during the midst of COVID, right? Massive. Look, it was a beautiful business, beautiful company. It started up then, and I joined this company I think during the midst of COVID or just after COVID, right? I started in this company, and man, life changed. There was now a stable income coming in, and now I had more time to really apply everything I've been learning through the years. And I started trading hard. I started teaching even my colleagues. I say encouraging them to trade. I started encouraging my colleagues to trade, and I started basically me teaching people was basically, like I said, it was for myself, not for, hence why I was doing it for free. I was never charging anybody to trade because it was benefiting me.
Sure.
So yeah, I started doing that, and I find myself. Well, we did really well with that broker. We did really, really well, and then I also got to understand more in detail on the dynamics of a brokerage, what servers, trading servers means, you know, the difference between having a white label and all of that. So I understood more on the brokerage business side of things, and carried on trading up until today, where I decided to start my own brokerage. Yeah.
That's where we're coming to now. Yeah. No, okay. One thing I can say is that this is based off a couple conversations I've had with a few people in the industry. Is that starting a broker is not particularly cheap, and it's not the easiest thing. And I think right now, because you went from trade, because everyone knows the moment you start a broker, that's where the real money is. Everyone knows that. Every trader knows that. We all understand that. But obviously, it's not that easy.
Not at all. Not at all.
What are some of the challenges that you faced?
I'm still facing. Look, the biggest thing is where number one is basically you saying, okay, there's different models, different business models for brokerages, right? Everybody talks about this A book, B book. I always say, man, you up until you're at the back, you really don't know.
Okay.
You understand? You really don't know. You will never know, right? Yeah, but there's those models that are there. But the biggest challenges that we found is that it was a challenge enough to raise the capital for it.
Okay.
And now that you have raised the capital for it, the biggest challenge comes with your target market.
Okay.
Right? Because you don't believe in certain things, or rather certain models that other brokers are using, like the use of influencers with cars and whatnot, you know, all the negativity stuff. It becomes challenging for your brand to be trusted, right? And then you start asking yourself, okay, does this mean that one needs to go buy a Lamborghini and then you trust the product? You understand? So it becomes what that is. The challenge is also now educating the clients, and that's one of the things that we really at our brokers we put out there, is to educate the clients about the brokerage, what it actually means trading with a broker, and also getting them to be educated about taking good trading decisions. You understand? And also the money management. But it has been a very great journey. I never knew I'm so patient. I never knew that I can smile under so much pressure. I never knew that about myself. But it's been very challenging, but it's been a wonderful journey. It's a learning curve, man.
I can only imagine. No, because I know a lot of traders out there, obviously their end goals as well is to be like, hey, no, I want a broker eventually, you know. And you in Sotho, you ask the way from the ones who came in front. That's great.
Absolutely, but it's really challenging. Especially, look, there's white labels and there's the route that we took.
Okay.
Knowing what I know now, white label is much easier and much cheaper. The route that we took is not so cheap.
Okay, what is a white label for those who don't know?
So basically a white label is like, for instance, Top Trader SA is a broker, and I want to open a brokerage. I approach Top Trader SA, and they basically they just give me a portion of their infrastructure, right? Infrastructures being servers and all of that, but I just utilize my logos and just the name J. You understand? So it's like a copy of the main thing. You give me the infrastructure to utilize and go run this as Jabu markets. You see, but the infrastructure belongs to Top Trader SA. Now, when you go and try to do what we've done, where you get to say, nah, let's own our own infrastructure, you'll see from a cost perspective, it's not cheap. I mean, just meta quotes alone is quite costly. I mean,
let's talk ballpark in terms of figures.
Yeah.
Just a give us a ballpark there in terms of like a figure, and I want to make it like a versus. How much would it cost to start a successful white label?
We don't know whether it's successful or not, but how much would it cost to start a white label? Different providers, but average you're looking at about monthly average around $5,000 or so. Yeah. At most 10,000. At most 10,000.
And this is for white label.
White label, yeah, $5,000 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, but then, like I said, this differs because there's different providers, and some of them don't have certain elements. Some of them, what do I mean by that? Some of them don't have PSPs, payment gateways. Some of them do have an entire package, right? And you don't really control where that money goes. The money goes into their infrastructure, and then you have your splits accordingly after profits and whatnot, right? Yeah. So you basically become a reseller, right? It's like a Herbalife or something, you know. Yeah, Tupperware had a very good structure of that. So white label was that. Those ladies that we found at like malls selling Tupperware.
Yeah.
Now, but picture them selling that without the name Tupperware, maybe written Tandi's Way or something.
Yeah.
But that was manufactured by that. But yeah, white label, you're looking at about $4,000-$5,000 a month. And I think that's about it.
And that's just running it, dude. Let's forget marketing,
that's
everything
just
else.
Infrastructure and stuff. Yeah. But it also, there's other costs like volume cost and all of that.
Okay.
But now when you're going for your own infrastructure, with MetaQuotes alone, the basic package you'll get at MetaQuotes, you're looking at 7.5, the minimum, and it's the smallest. You don't want that as a brokerage. It's a very small server.
Yeah.
Right. The smallest is that, and then I think the maximum is up to like $25,000 a month.
Sure.
And this is just MetaQuote, right?
Forget this.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about CRM.
Yeah.
We haven't spoken about payment gateways. We haven't spoken about, and nowadays we are competing with international brokers that have cashiers, meaning when you go, the fact that you are depositing into it costs money for you to deposit into a broker.
Okay.
So, and you get people saying brokers are bad. Brokers pay just for you to deposit. You understand? So the fact that you are able to utilize your card and your CVV number, it costs us a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, because number one, I'm gonna have to pay the guy that gives me the technology. Right? We're looking at anything between 2,000 euros and above, and I need to pay the guy that receives the funds. He takes a percentage on your deposit.
Sure.
You understand? So if you deposit 1,000 rand, what really goes to the broker is not 1,000 rand. There's a cost, a transaction cost, transaction fees. You get charged on that with the cashiers. You understand? And then you've got great payment gateways like Ozo. They're my favorite, man. I love.
100%.
I'm telling you, that's a brilliant business. That's really, if you look at not just from the brokerage space, but what they do is really there for their merchants. You got guys like Ozo and stuff. They still have a fee, but it's really good, and I'll encourage people to use Ozo more because it costs us cheaper for us. But you've got those costs, and then you've got obviously your normal operational cost, your staff, your offices. I haven't touched marketing. You understand? And then you get to the point of marketing, merchandise.
I mean, marketing just depends on how much money you've got in your pocket. After everything, it becomes it's all about let's get to a bit of trading right now. Okay, so what's your daily trading routine?
Sure. All right, the daily trading routine always starts at the weekend on a Sunday.
Okay.
Right. Either Saturday or Sunday, whichever, but on the weekend where the market is not moving. So what I do is that basically I look at the overall. Well, I'll decide which pair. I'm that trader that I don't trade indices. Number one, the main reason I don't do that is that I've realized that it instills, or rather inflicts, a lot of emotions, and my trading is not based on method, but rather on emotions, and that's really bad. So I've decided to not trade them. Right? Doesn't mean that I can't. No, I give out. There's friends of mine that I give out signals. Yeah, very good ones. Sometimes I look at them like, but your ego, you know.
So you say you don't trade indices. I was watching a podcast. Who was it? Some international guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
He literally said that, look, currencies is slow money.
Yeah.
And indices is fast money.
Yeah. Hence why I was saying to you that it's really about personality.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you think about it, bro, is that the ticks for every movement on a currency, yes, am I saying it's slow or it's faster than FX? No, I'm not saying that. The contract size are much bigger. The ticks also, the tick value is much bigger than on Forex. Right? I'm not saying that. But if you really understand what you are doing, if you really know what is it that you want to get out, you can make an equivalent amount using currencies. You've got to understand the use of volumes. You've got to understand the use of how tight your stop loss is. So you can. It's really based on you. Yes, FX tends to move on average. The daily average movement of FX is smaller than on indices because there's more volatility on indices. But also get to understand what it actually means, because as much as you can make it, there's the opposite is also true. You understand? So if one can say with Nasdaq, what do they like now? US 30. Yeah, US 30. Yeah, with US 30 between 330 and 4, I can make $1,000. You can also lose $1,000 if you're wrong. It's not about the instrument paying you. It's about how good are you with analyzing that instrument. So form a personality with that instrument, understand the instrument, and also understand the other factors that comes into play. Like I said, I picked it up myself when I was doing like the self-introspection. I realized when I trade indices, why I close trades is based on emotions. It's based on what I feel, what I think. It's never based on the method. I never closed an index trade based on my method says it's exit time. No, it's always, I feel like I made enough. You see, that's why I never understand where you find, and I'm not throwing shade, guys. I'm not throwing shade, but you find somebody that's a guru on NFP, whatever news trading event, places a trade, and after that move, all of a sudden it's
it's a happy person. It's like he's not used to it.
Oh, but aren't you?
It's,
you understand
it's
what I'm saying?
performative. It's extremely performative. Yeah.
Yeah. So I realized that for me, it's slowing my growth, right? Slowing down my growth. So to go back to your question of saying what do I do is mainly that I know which instruments I'm not going to trade. So I trade everything else except indices, mainly because I've traded them so many times and I've picked it up doing journaling and stuff. Picked it up that, okay, and here I always do revenge trading. I always do all the negative things that I don't want to do. But with currencies, I found myself being able to even hold trades if I have to, exiting if I have to, you understand, according to the method. So I trade I'll trade some metals. I love gold. Silver is my favorite. I love silver because of correlation with gold and understand what it means. I understand leading and lagging correlation.
Okay.
Right? And understand how to read, how to make a decision on a lagging correlation. So for somebody that doesn't know what a lagging correlation is that currencies correlate, right? Yes. Instruments correlate. So there are instruments that are leading, right? Meaning if they're going to decide, maybe if the currency is on an uptrend, right? There's ones that will have more impulse move and then the others will react a little bit later. So does that mean that you have to go buy that one that's reacting later anyway? No. But I understand now that if I'm looking at gold, for instance, if I'm looking at gold and gold has a massive impulse, I now know how to analyze my silver trade on taking a buy as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so I understand that. So yeah,
I hear exactly what you're saying, because some might say, go as far as saying that how guys, we can make money based just off of that, but I don't think it's exactly
as
black
easy.
and white.
Yeah, it's not as easy as that. And also, I used to think it was as easy as that.
Yeah,
I used to even go bigger lots, and I realized just a small pullback, it blows my account and then goes my direction. You understand? So what it does, it's basically what you are doing is that you are looking for because trading is a game of probabilities. Now, once you start understanding what probabilities really mean, you start using that towards your favor, right? So what I do normally, if I'm gonna trade silver, for instance, now currently I'm in a buy position of gold, right? I'm still holding that trade. I've got stops locked in. I'm looking to swing.
You've been holding it, eh?
Yeah.
But remember, you should. I remember
I showed you that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm still holding that pair, and I've just locked in. And now what I'm doing is that I'm waiting to see if silver will give me. I'm still utilizing, mind you, I'm not going in blindly.
Okay.
Right. I'm still using my method with silver, but I'm looking for buy opportunities on silver. And with a lot of brokers, silver has a bigger contract size. So chances are also it will pay. Doesn't necessarily mean that it will pay. But I'm still also going to apply my risk management rules. And yeah, I'm just going to look to do the same thing and just buy that.
Yeah.
You understand? And now I understand that, okay, I've got these two positions that I'm going to be, I'm basically going to use the other one to mirror or monitor the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, and that gold, Euro USD, AUD USD, NZD USD, a little bit choppy, but if you understand the methodology and you look at the overall trend, you'll get to see one of them is leading. It's giving you an idea of what to look out for. And then what you do, like with the supply and demand, like I said, how I use correlations with supply and demand is that if one pair has already gone up, right, I look to see on the lagging one, the one that's behind, I just look for a demand zone on the one that's lagging.
So you're still analyzing on the one that's lagging.
Yeah, you still analyze and you say, okay, cool, which demand zone or which bullish order block.
Don't you feel like that that analysis is biased? Or is it meant to be biased? Because you look at the leading one, you're like, okay, this one's going up. Okay, then you look at the lagging one, it's like, okay, this one needs to go up.
Not necessarily that it needs to.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, words like needs to, has to, I feel like, should. No, bro, the market doesn't owe you anything. Sometimes we have those zones and it just violates, boop. And then all of a sudden takes a different direction, like how? What happened? You see? This is why risk management is important. And also why I'm saying that is that don't go and approach the market saying, you see, today the market needs to go do this. No, market needs to do nothing.
Yeah.
You understand? We don't predict, but we react. Hence what I was saying is that if I find one, and this is just one element, I'm just summarizing things, right, about the method that I'm using. There's other things that I look at, like market structure, before even deciding whether I'm going to buy or not. If I see structure being now changed into a bullish structure, and then I know very well on the lagging one, I want to see certain things first. And on my either order block or demand zone, I want to see also there's two entries that I use, like majority, like your risk entry and your confirmation entries. So understand how to then utilize that, right? Your risk entry, normally when I go on my risk entry, risk is always smaller, 0.3% at times 0.5. My confirmation entries, I increase my risk to 1%.
So when you say risk entry and thingy, is it based also on your confluences, basically, based on how much? Is that what you mean by that?
Sure, absolutely. So it's really based on confluences.
Okay.
So risk entry normally is when I have a zone, is the first touch, because we always think we can never really know whether the market. I get we have this buy low, sell high, but we can never know how low a market can go. You see, so the very first touch in most cases, depending on the grading also of my setup, I normally take that as a risk entry.
Okay.
Because the market can either enter and then violate. You see, so I risk a little bit less there. But once it reacts, right, and then I scale down to a smaller time frame. Now it's also understanding time frames, right? I scale down. If my entry was based on a 4 hour, if my entry was based on a 4 hour, I now scale down to 1 hour and 30 minutes to look for a confirmation entry. So what am I saying on a confirmation entry? Understand this: if the market is going down on a 4 hour, sometimes you'll find on the 30 minutes, it's still showing a little bit of upside movement, right? It's still showing a little bit of upside movement. So what I do then is that on a smaller time frame, I start to look for structures being broken that will match what I want to do on the 4 hour, right? Once I start seeing that on the smaller time frames, then I go in. But even going in, I'm never a full margin trader. I was a full margin trader.
Yeah,
but I don't do that no more.
Why did you stop?
Prop firm trading taught me to stop.
Okay.
Yeah, I took 12 tries, by the way. Bro.
Yeah. No, that was my next topic, is going into the prop firm business. You know? Not the prop firm business, but the prop firm trading for me. You know, so so basically what you just said, your approach to the market is what you use coming to the prop firm trading. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you don't do anything different based from personal trading to prop firm trading. It's all the same. If you could say,
it's actually the same.
Yeah.
So what I do is this: I use prop firm money to create capital. Right. Apart from trading, I really love business. I'm very entrepreneurial. I don't know if you saw it, that guy we're talking to. I was more interested about what he's doing and all of that, right? Because I see trading as a form of creating that capital.
So true.
You understand? So what I do now, and what I'm on right now for the next year or two, I'm trading prop firm money to create my trading account with that account size. So for instance, I'm trading various prop firms now because of what happened with the other one, where I also had some money there, right? But what I'm doing there is that the money that I'm making from those prop firms, I'm funding my trading account with it, so that my personal trading account can emulate that of a prop firm.
Sure.
You understand? So if I'm trading a $400,000 account, right, I want to get to a stage where I'll be trading $400,000 of my own money.
Okay, now my question is risk. Is that not more riskier, trading your own money, than trading prop firm money? Yeah.
Sure. Not at all.
Okay.
Because one thing you must understand, what happens while, you see, there's a guy called Jim Rohn, this old, people call him motivational speaker. Is not really motivational speaker.
Okay.
But Jim Rohn is one guy that I follow a lot. He's a very old, he was like, let's call him a motivational speaker, but in early years, like 1950s or so. If you check his videos on social media or YouTube, whatever, he talks about the journey of becoming the millionaire. He's like, it's not really about being the millionaire, it's what you become in order for you to be a millionaire. In that journey, as you are approaching your million, what you become is what matters. Because what you become in you acquiring that million will determine whether that million goes away or not. It will determine if you can do it again or not.
Sure.
You understand? So as you are trading these prop firm monies, right, what it does is that it teaches you certain disciplines, right? And because of repetition, like I said, when you repeat something, it becomes a habit. It teaches you certain disciplines that eventually become part of your personality, right? And by the time you reach your goal, I mean, if you're trading $400,000, right, for you to have your own trading account of $400,000 means you need to make 100%.
Okay.
Right? And these guys are saying just make 10% a month. Right? It means, okay, cool. If I can do 10% 10 times, not in 10 months.
Yeah.
You see, 10 times.
Okay.
Then you've done it. You see, so a lot of the times people say, okay, then I need 10 months to make fun. No, because you're going to chase this month, and that's going to get you. You just need to do it 10 times.
Okay.
Whether it's in a year, it's in 2 years, it doesn't matter. You just need to do it 10 times. Then you have that amount. If you've got 400K, you do that 10 times, then you've got 400K of your own. And now the same disciplines that it took you for you to reach the 400,000. By the time you trade here, you're not going to trade it with barcode.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
definitely not going to do it,
That's
whether you
so
like it
true.
or not. You
So
understand?
true.
Because as you're doing this, you are learning. Like I said, I took 12 tries before having a successful, before having a withdrawal. Let's not even say successful, because I even failed a live account. I didn't even get the first withdrawal the 12th time.
Yeah.
You see, before getting a withdrawal, I took 12 times. But each and every time I retried, my trading was different. I think it was another shoot that we did where somebody said I think it was Lee or something, where he says they are teaching us how to, prop firms are teaching us how to manage money, you see. So you are learning how to manage the money. By the time you've got the 400K, you've learned how to manage risk. You've learned what it basically means to manage risk, because sooner or later regulations are going to kick in. It's going to be a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
So you do that, rack up, utilize this capital, whether start any other business or whatever. But now what you know is that once you have 400K of your own money, $400,000 of your own money, you have no rules. Those rules, yes, they're important, but you have nobody to worry about that. They don't want us to make money.
The training wheels are off in a way.
You understand what I'm saying? But now you know how to manage 400K. You know how to do. You've done it before.
Yeah.
You see, now you say, okay, cool. Let me do this again
On more than one occasion.
You understand? And now you can start increasing your risk a little bit more, because you've done it so many times, it's a habit for you. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's a habit for you. It matches now. It becomes part of your personality. You see, it becomes difficult for you to trade small accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Hey, what a fire interview. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have had so much fun. We're almost done.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo. Everyone knows whenever I ask this question, the interview is chai.
Yeah.
What's your biggest loss?
Biggest loss.
Biggest loss, and I always have to clarify is that I'm not particularly talking about a monetary term loss, but just your biggest loss.
Without monetary. Okay, but maybe
if it's monetary, then cool. If that's
Sure.
your biggest loss, then cool. If it's not monetary, and you feel like you lost something more than just,
Yeah, apart from everything else that I've mentioned that I've lost, the biggest loss in a trading day,
Okay.
was £25,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took me 3 weeks to make it. Yeah, it took me 3 weeks to make it from £200.
Okay.
And it took me
from 200
£200, yeah,
to 25,000.
to £25,000.
Please walk us through.
Yeah.
walk us through that whole process.
Yeah. So I was trading. It's like I said, I used to trade Nasdaq when it was still like 4,000s and German 30 DAX.
Yeah.
Right. And that's basically what we used to do. I learned it from somebody else. We used to do hedging. Right. So we used to hedge and trade gaps at the time. So literally when I say this, it's not, that strategy or that method is not effective now.
Okay.
Right. It's not effective now, trust me. I wouldn't be here by now. You understand? So we used to hedge a German 30 and trade the gaps of what German 30 used to create back then.
Okay.
Right. And we'd trade basically that open gap, close it and all of that. So there was no risk management there, bro. It's just all in. Right. Every single day we're basically profitable. Right, there were losses, yes, but we were profitable more times than any of that. So we took 200 pounds to 25,000, and I remember my wife saying, withdraw. And I said, nah. We're taking this 25 all the way. Like we can make 250. Yeah. You see?
Yeah.
I only learned later, like what happened in the back end after understanding the brokerage business.
Yeah.
I only learned what happened in the back end, but eventually or essentially, I lost that in one day.
Sure.
Yeah, I lost that at one day.
So what happens in the back end?
What happened?
Oh, what happened in the back end?
Yeah, in the back end. Well, we realized, obviously, like understanding how what unfolded, right? And I learned, like I said, I only learned this later while I was now understanding brokerages. Is we realized that obviously there was a little bit of dirty play by increase of spreads while the trades are running. And when you're hedging, the increase of spreads really works against you. That's why I said it's not effective. You can try it now. No broker, you won't make money. You won't, forget it. Because it's deemed as gambling.
Okay.
Nah, it's deemed as gambling.
Yeah,
but
we're playing both sides.
Yeah. You buy and sell, whichever ones.
A lot of Zanzi traders are doing that.
Yeah, no, even we get that even on the prop firm.
Okay.
Where we had to, I think we one of the most what is this word? A prop firm that really gives out people many chances.
Okay.
Yeah, some prop firms, when you do that, they violate your accounts. We give out warnings. We say, hey, please refrain from this, because a lot of the times you find people still gambling.
Okay.
Barcode on buys as the market goes down, they sell.
Yeah.
Close. And eventually when the buy comes, they say, oh yeah. Now you see, that is gambling. Yeah. You understand? So and that's what delays a lot of traders, to be honest. So yeah, the biggest loss I've had was in one single day. The biggest loss in one single day was $25,000. Have I blown a couple of 100,000? Yeah, sorry, pounds. Yeah. Have I blown a couple of 100,000 rands in a day? Yes, I have. A couple of them. Many. And there's one I blew in December. They didn't have the greatest Christmas.
Okay, now let's go. And the lesson that you took from that? Yeah. What was the lesson that you took from that experience?
The lesson that I took from that mainly was to trade for a purpose, right? And never shift your goals. A lot of the times we find ourselves having goals, right? And every time we come closer to the goal, we realize that I can go a little bit more. And before we actually tick off that goal, we actually just shift the goalpost even further.
Sure.
So in monetary value, people will say, okay, cool. If I find 1,000 rand, let me make another 1,000. When he's floating 1,000 rand in profit or 800 rand in profit, say, I can make 10,000. You haven't even reached that goal, but you're already shifting it. And you want to do that with that one particular trade that you're holding, and the trade turns. You could have closed your 800.
Yeah.
Your method said close at 800, but you say, I feel like it's still going to go up. I know this thing. You see? So yeah, never shifting your own goal. That's what I learned. Have goals, number one, and never shifting them. You can always work on new goals, but complete that goal first and then work on a new goal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your most memorable trade?
Most memorable trades, I have a few. Those ones, yes. I liked, although that was a bad method, I loved that hedging thing. Right? Because why? Is that I had in a week, more days than others, I'll always be in profit. And that, for dopamine, I had that. It was a good feeling. But my most memorable trade is a GBP AUD pair that I held for 3 weeks. Yeah, and it moved significant. It was a big significant move. And I remember showing one of my friends that I worked with at the brokerage, and he was hyping me up. Wow, you're so brilliant, Yeah, so that GBP AUD where I held it for a couple of weeks. Because I really want to get to a stage where there's guys that I follow that hold trades for like 6-7 months. Yeah, that's
position trading.
Position trading. I really want to get to that stage. And for me to hold a trade that long, for me, was an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fighting every beat.
Yeah, I was fighting.
But isn't that a bit contradictory though? Because essentially, essentially, we say is that find what works with your personality.
Yeah.
But then, in this case, your personality say you day trading mostly, right? But now you're going against your personality in a sense of like, position trading is where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
Do you not think that will work against you? Or
not really. The reason why I'd want to personally, and it's also understanding your personality, is that I am venturing into other businesses, right? And the reason why I want to transition to positional trading is the main fact of, I don't want to be here right now and thinking, did I put stop loss or not? You understand?
Yeah.
I don't want to be here and thinking, this guy's wasting my time, 330 is about to hit. You understand what I'm saying? So those type of things, because I'm understanding, I'm in a journey now of helping people build businesses in the brokerage space.
Okay.
And what do I mean by that? I'm in a journey, there's something I've realized along this journey that I'm really good at, is helping people build their IB businesses. And when I mean IB business, I'm not saying influencer business, but really build a very strong IB business. So I chat to a lot of people that are IBs and want to structure and formalize their businesses. So I don't want to be in meetings and still have to worry or feel like I've lost out on opportunities. You understand? So this is why I would love to shift to positional trading. And also because I'm much closer to the goal that I want with my personal funds, that I understand that if I do a position trade on whatever pair, whatever instrument it is, I'm able to grow my portfolio.
Yeah.
You understand? Because it's all about that, or growing the portfolio. Because I said, I'm running businesses, running a brokerage, I'm running a prop firm. Not limited only to these businesses, right? I've got a car wash elsewhere. So I'm not limited to this. So what I want to do is that I don't want to sacrifice the trading. I also don't want to sacrifice the attention that my other businesses need. Then I also want to teach people how to run a successful IB businesses.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a happy gent right now.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Souls, thank you so much for coming out, for making time in your busy schedule to be here today and grace us with your presence.
For
the people watching, it's like 2 days in a row because the episode came out today. And and then the next day it's like,
so this one paid this one.
It's funny. I actually had someone. We get a lot of DMs, a lot of crazy DMs. Actually, had someone literally say he wanted to pay for an interview. So we not at that point. I don't know how to navigate. Let me say I don't know how to navigate paid interviews as of yet. Because if I'm going to do it, I want to do it properly, Absolutely. But for now, I don't know how to do it. And I feel like it's also a line, once you cross it. So now he's like, he's disappointed in us for not taking his request. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I think also, remember one thing is that a lot of the times we do things with motive.
Yeah.
Right. What's the motive behind it? And one of the things, bro, that I really want to thank you guys and your team is that this platform really is a platform where it exposes a lot of things to people, right? If people start focusing on what's being discussed on this platform instead of who the people are and what they have, they'd really pick up so many germs, and they'll also avoid a lot of scams, because I know for sure on this platform there's somebody that came and said, I used to do this and this and this and this, we used to do this, you understand, as in a form of scamming people. And now because people really look at who do you have, then they go to IG, what does he have? IG is not really a true reflection of the individual, but you look at the context that's been spoken, what's been said, and the information that's been shared. I really think a lot of traders can really, really, really avoid where they are. And sorry to do this also, that to say if somebody's been trading for 2-3 years and you're still struggling, reach out. Reach out. Chances are we're not going to teach you anything new. There's something that I do to a lot of people, bro, is that I just ask you to tell me your method. I write it down, and then I ask you, okay, the trade that you took yesterday, did you follow these? More times than not people haven't. You understand? We, from that element of psychology, I also help a lot of people.
Sure.
So if you've been trading for 3 years and you're still struggling, reach out. And if you've been running an IB business, you're still struggling, reach out as well. We'll teach you all of that information free of charge. All right.
All right. Yeah. No, guys, you guys heard it all here. I'm not even going to ask for advice because this interview was just jam-packed with a lot. No, but thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate your time. And yeah, guys, I am sitting down with Jabulani Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody calls me with my full name there, I think I'm in trouble. Because my parents always say Jabulani when I was in trouble. So I'm used to Jabu.
No, people. Yeah, Jabu, yes, Jabu Souls.
When they say Jabulani, I'm like, yo, what did I do?
Thank you
so much for having me, my brother. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. You guys know it's Nqobile Tembane from Top Traders South Africa. Brought you another episode of Market Masters, where I sit down with the most talented and prominent individuals or traders in the industry. And I'll see you guys same time, same place next week. And a big thank you to our sponsor. Yeah, and we out. Shop.
Ciao. Time flies. Where are you guys here? We thought you were not here.
Yeah, no, time flies.
Huh? No, I really thought you guys.